Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, good morning. How are you? Oh, it is Tuesday, and we are on the last chapter of this book that we are reading. I'm so excited that we are back. I'm going to take this opportunity to share the video, but for those who are new joining us on this channel, we are reading Dr. Boyce Watkins' book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, A New Paradigm for Black America. We are on the last chapter of this book, and it's titled Community, which starts at page 49. So we are reading about community. So I'm taking this opportunity to share this video. For those who are now just coming on, please share the video so we can get started. I'm having a great day. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm excited about today because in 2 more days, I'm on vacation. So I'm going to miss you guys, and I hope you're going to miss me too, but I really do need a vacation, and I'm excited. So let me just share this video. There. Video has been shared. I am ready to get rolling. Do I have any announcements today besides the fact that I'm going on vacation? I'm so excited about that. You have no idea how excited I am. I also started sharing the book club on YouTube. So I'm moving pre-recorded videos over there until I get the software that I need to do a live stream to multiple channels at once. I haven't done it yet. I'm not going to drive myself crazy trying to figure it all out, but I will eventually do it, just not today. What else? 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 Oh, you guys keep my baby in prayer. My baby has to go for surgery again in September on the 6th. So it's a one day thing. So that's not a bad thing. So just keep my little baby in prayer. That's the youngest one. That little boy, he's the one that goes through all the sickly stuff. I don't understand it, but y'all just keep me in prayer. Send positive vibes, positive blessings over our way because we're going to need it in September. But as of right now, we're not thinking about that. We're just thinking about vacation in 2 days. So I cannot stress that enough. I will be on vacation in 2 days, guys. So you're not going to see me for like 9 days. And then I'll be back. So don't cry. Just watch videos. And if I ever get an opportunity on a boat to post, I will. But I'm not promising you that. What else I want to say to you guys? Oh, I received some books in the mail from some people who want me to review their books. And I'm going to do that. So if you have any books that you want me to review, just leave a comment on this feed and I will give you the information on what do you do to send me the book. But I want to say this to all those who wants my book review. If your book is a teaching book and I review it, I will read it if it is a teaching book. And I know there's lessons in every book, but if the book reads like a story, I will do a book review, meaning I will come on here and I will tell people about your book, what I thought about it. I may read a page or two out of your book, but I will really tell people what I thought about it and if I got anything from it, and I will apply a message that way. But it's not a book that I'm going to read for entertainment. Because what I do in this channel is about cultivating the mind, elevating the thinking so we can activate our goals. Whatever goals you have, I always aim to activate them. So I want to put that out there that I will read your book. But again, unless it's a teaching book, I am not going to sit and teach the community. If it is a book that reads like a storybook, like a fiction book, I will do a book review on it. It'll be a full-fledged book review, but I won't do it day after day until we complete the book. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. Yes, Lynn, life is wonderful. And our Facebook friends are so great. Good morning, Marva. And I will enjoy my vacation. Good morning, Empire. Yeah, so that's great, guys. Keep my baby in prayer. Let's get going. We're talking about community. We're talking about community today. So Dr. Boyce Watkins starts the chapter off with community, that the last component of the new paradigm is community. In order for us to become strong as a people, we must understand the importance of maintaining a sense of community. A sense of community means that you are committed to giving and living for something that is bigger than yourself. We can't survive if all of us are selfish. We can't survive if none of us feels the necessity to give back to the people we care about, or at least we say we care about. That's the Shonna commentary. We cannot survive if all of our talented and brilliant doctors, lawyers, professors, athletes, and entertainers are constantly given to somebody else but giving nothing to their own people. We cannot survive if we don't learn the importance and value of sticking together. So this chapter is really about us as a community of the indigenous people, of the African diaspora. It's about us really sticking together, because that's where our key lies. We have to unite. We have to build together in order for us to get to the next place of where we're going. We've gotten far, but not far enough. So we still have a lot of work to do. And what I've been seeing over the years is that our community, our sense of community, has been broken down through brainwashing, through indoctrination, through self-hate, through miseducation, through uneducation. It's like, it's so crazy what is happening. If people don't realize that we are at a spiritual warfare, we are in a psychological warfare, we are in a medical warfare. It is open season on us black folk. I don't care how to put it. I don't care how you want me to put it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is open season on us. And only a few of us get it. A few of us get it. In the whole grand scheme of things, on a macro level, only a microcosm of us really understand what's going on. So Dr. Boyce Watkins is saying we got to stick together. We got to wake up. We got to do better if we're going to be successful. And I believe we can be successful. Good morning, Sakia. When we had the New Paradigm Forum with Minister Louis Farrakhan, now y'all know I love Farrakhan, one of the things that he brought up, which I agree with, is that African Americans can learn a great deal from the Jewish community. Now, I know this is going to rub some people the wrong way, but like I said, just listen to the message. Don't be feeling some kind of way, because people say, oh, stop comparing us to other people. Well, when you're a lost people, not all of us, but when you are lost people and you don't understand the sense of community, this is not 1800. This is not 1920 when we stuck together. This is not this time. This is not 1970. This is 2017, and we are on the path of destruction. So sometimes this generation has to be able to understand it by looking at another generation. So I'm going to say that before people start going, oh, we're not the Jewish community. We're not the Asian community. Listen, just listen for a moment. Jesus. Because of what the Jewish community has endured, they are deeply committed to sticking together and supporting one another. They pool their resources. They educate their own children. They support each other politically. They are in the habit of working together, and because they keep a solid core, because they are tight, because they are thick as thieves, they keep a solid core. It is very difficult for anyone to exploit people in that community. Can I get an amen? That is so true. I see it all the time. There was a recent article reference to Lakewood, New Jersey. If you don't believe me, open up another window on your browser and Google this, okay? There was a string of Jewish people that was arrested in Lakewood, New Jersey for welfare fraud or Section 8 fraud. No matter how you put it, welfare is welfare. So they were arrested for that. You've seen it in a paper one day, two if you're lucky, and you never saw it again. You never saw not another article on it. You didn't see any follow-up on it. There was no news on it. It wasn't all over social media. Come on now. Come on now. Why do you think that's the case? It is so difficult to exploit a people that stick together, that pulls their resources together and owns almost everything. It is very difficult to exploit that. They shut it down. You know why? Because they have access to everything, and money talks and everything else walks. In my community, there was a foreign-born Korean man in my community. Now, in his country, he came for money. When he was here, he was doing all right for himself. His girlfriend broke up with him. You don't believe me? Go ahead and Google this too. I'll tell you the town I live in. I live in Fort Lee, New Jersey. Go ahead and Google this too. She broke up with him. He became enraged. He hit her with his car and rolled back and rolled forward and rolled back and rolled forward 39 times, severed her limbs from her body, fled, got caught at LaGuardia Airport or JFK, one of those New York City airports, got caught there, arrested, and you never heard anything else. We don't know if he got life. We don't know if he was deported. We don't know if he did time. We don't know about the funeral. We don't know nothing. Never another lick. I came home and there was so many news people in my community. I was shocked because my community, there was one time I left my trunk of my car open and everything was still there. So I was really shocked that news was in the town. I was like, oh Lord, what happened? Somebody got killed. And what happened? Somebody was murdered. Forget killed. They were murdered. And we never heard anything else. Why? Because they own everything here. The Asians own everything. You can't even sneeze without wiping your nose with Asian tissue. The Asians own everything here. So when you have that kind of power, when you have those kind of resources, you get to control the narrative. But when you are an exploited people, you control nada. They can tell lies about you, and there's nothing you can do. They tell lies about us all the time. They can remove your history from you. And so many of us are miseducated, we won't even know what's happening. Right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? My point is, when you pull together and you are united, you get to control the narrative. You get to control the narrative. And when you can control the narrative, it's very difficult for people to exploit you. You better believe it. You better believe it. Let me move on. This can be the future of Black America, or the future of the indigenous people of America, or the future of the African diaspora. However you need to hear that word. If Black bothers you, replace it. All right? It is not going to happen with everybody. Some people committed to the slave mentality. Cultivate your mind, people. Some people committed to the slave mentality are going to have to be left behind. Some of those individuals are going to have to be cast out of the brilliant future that our community will possess. I am an eternal optimist when it comes to the future of Black America. I believe without a doubt that the future belongs to us. Now, he's right. Some of us spend all day arguing with people who don't want to hear. I'm not here to talk to people who don't want to hear. I can care less if you don't want to hear me. But some of us spend all day arguing with those who don't share our thought process, and we try to get them to see it differently. Some of us spend all day arguing with people who lack the education when it comes to the true history of Africans in this country. We spend all day. I'm not arguing with none of those people. I'm more interested in conversing, not arguing, conversing with people who I want to build. Some people would spend all day telling you how conscious they are, but look at everything that you're saying, listening to everything you're saying just to dispute you. I don't entertain those people. I move on because it's either we're going to stand together or we're going to be divided. And if we are divided, we're going to fall. So I'd rather lock arms with my brothers and sisters that get it. I'd rather lock arms when we see each other on the street. We give each other like, I got your back. I'd rather lock arms that if I get pulled over by a police officer, my brothers are going to stop their car too, pull aside and make sure this sister's okay, because I'm going to do the same as well. I'd rather lock arms with that. I'd rather donate into organizations that's about building my community than to entertain these folks out here. I'd rather do that. And sometimes it's going to require us to leave them behind. Now, you guys are on board. You guys are on board. You listen every morning. I'm locking arms with you. But there are other people that would just listen and it's not music to their ears, so they tune off. This is not for them. This is not for them. Those who have ears, let them hear. It's just that simple. We got to learn that message, and we got to stop trying to convince people to see things our way. As a community, I suggest, talking about Dr. Boyce Watkins, suggests that we lean on the tradition of the runaway slave. We have to remember that there will probably never be a day when you will see the bulk of the benefits from your contribution, and that's okay. There will never be a day where you won't turn on the TV and hear about a Black child who has been slaughtered, unfortunately. There will never be a day where you won't turn on the radio and hear some Negro spouting all kinds of ignorance that is designed to destroy Black people. Better days may never arrive in your lifetime, but you're not doing this for yourself. You're making this sacrifice for your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren so they can live a better life than us. The key for the development of our community is not just unity, not just U-N-I-T-Y. I just have to say that. Sorry, guys. But the key for our community is not just unity, but to remember that we have an obligation to protect our children from all enemies. both foreign and domestic. So he breaks down foreign and domestic. This part is foreign. This means that we have an internal expectation to protect our children from racist oppressors as well as anyone who seeks to harm them. Here's the domestic. We also have an obligation to protect our children from people of color who have sold out to higher interests or who have been indoctrinated into a way of thinking that is poisonous and destructive. These cultural zombies have to be dealt with and annihilated no differently from the way we have to deal with Black overseers of the plantation. We can still love these people and we don't have to physically harm them. But it is also okay to cast out those selfish individuals who don't feel that they owe anything to their community. Let me pause right there. This is true. This is true. We have to protect our children. We have to protect their minds. We have to protect their interests. And we have to do this by making sure we have a relationship. Now, y'all know I'm a relationship expert. This is my training. We have to make sure we have a relationship with our children. Have the conversations with your children. Teach them about what it is to be Black in America. There are so many people that shy away from teaching their children. They don't want to talk about slavery. They don't want to talk. I mean, if that's all your mind is on, then of course you're going to feel that way because that's trauma. And no one likes to revisit trauma over and over again. I get it. But what we have to do is to communicate to our children the truth. They have to know their history. They have to know how to keep their eyes open. They have to know when they are in danger of being exploited, when they are in danger of being oppressed, when they are in danger of being taken advantage of, when they are in danger of being harmed. And that's just not physical harm. So we have to make sure of that. Even our exploitation comes from our own people as well. So just because it is a brother or a sister doesn't mean it is a brother or a sister. So we have to educate our children and we have to warn them of these things. And it's okay. Do it in closed doors and look for examples outside to show your children what's not good and what is. I do it with my children all the time. Even if I see a music video that comes across my screen and it's from a song that I hear my children singing from time to time, I will call them in there and I will sit them down. And I would reverse the message and the media and the images that's being played in their mind. Because I understand that if we let our children watch this stuff and listen to this stuff on a daily, they don't realize how fragile their brain is. And it would pick up this information and then our children will start living this lifestyle. I mean, why else do we want to see girls half naked and on stripper poles? Is a culture that is saying that this behavior is okay. Dudes with their pants hanging down, slinging rocks. And I'm not talking about physical rocks. Dealing drugs. I don't know what they say now, but I'm from back in the days. I don't know what they say now. But my point is, children are being conditioned through what they see daily. So it is up to us to protect our children at all costs from everything, not only from people who don't look like us that are meant to harm them, but people who look like us that are harming and exploiting them as well. Because we have to think about rebuilding a new Black America. And that rebuilding starts with our children, because one day we're going to die and they have to pick up the baton and take over. The physical and intellectual power of the Black male can be compared to that of an elephant in a circus. The trainer knows that if the elephant ever realizes his power, he can crush him with just one foot. So the goal of the trainer is to ensure that the elephant never realizes who is bigger, who is stronger, and who is more powerful. By giving the elephant electric shocks at an early age, intimidating him, providing selective rewards and punishment, the trainer brainwashes the elephant into believing that he is less powerful than the man who is telling him what to do. How is that? How big and strong an elephant is going to listen to a little old measly man? But through that brainwashing and that conditioning and those consequences, those punishment, you do that enough, it will teach you that you are nothing. You are small, although you're stronger, although you're smarter, although you're bigger, you are nothing, right? So this is what he's basically saying has been happening to our black males, because we're back on the black males. This is what has been happening. They have been conditioned and trained by their oppressors over and over and over again until they begin to believe that they are not worth anything. They are not powerful. They are not strong. They are not intelligent. So if you punish somebody long enough and hurt them long enough, they're going to give in, because the human body is not designed to endure pain. We don't like pain. If we are in too much pain, we can go into shock. We can go into some real serious shock, because that's not how our body is created. So our main goal when we are in pain, whether it's emotional pain or physical pain, our main goal when we become in pain or inflamed with pain is to relieve it, is to stop it. We may pop some painkiller, or we might just give in to what people are telling us to do so that we won't feel the pain anymore. And if you do this long enough, it becomes a habit. It becomes your way of life, because now your brain has been trained not to want the trauma. And remember, oh, the last time you said hell no, you got beat with not with a whip on your back and you was bleeding. So don't say hell no, right? So that's what happens. And that's pretty much what he's describing when he talks about the elephant. The greatest fear of the trainer is that one day the elephant is going to wake up and realize how strong he is. He may also gain hunger for his own freedom and the realization that he doesn't need the trainer in order to survive. Even worse, the trainer fears that the elephant will never forget the torture, terrorism, and manipulation that was used to keep the elephant under control. All so he could selfishly earn a profit. So that's what this whole thing is about. And that's what slavery has always been about. It's always been about lining the pockets of the white man. It's always been about that. So people have this whole great idea. Some people, not all people, some people have this great idea that, slavery's over. How many of us have heard people say that? Oh man, stop talking about it. Slavery's over. That is it. And we've been free. You still on that? Move on from that. People talk about this all the time. But let me tell you, slavery just took a different shape and form. That's all it has done. Okay, you're getting a little wage, but whose pocket is still getting lined? Who is still being exploited? Who is still being oppressed? We got to really think about that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much what he's saying. And the reason why he does not want us to have our own freedom, the reason why the white man does not want us to elevate and to start thinking differently and doing for our own, the reason why that is the case is because if we do that, it stops their profit. Because we spend the most money on them than anybody else. So the fear is that we will unite one day, and we will. I promise you that we will. The fear is that we will unite. And we will become powerful, and we will start that's not the word, but again, providing for our own, like we did on Black Wall Street. And that wasn't the only Black Wall Street. We had Durham, North Carolina. We had Richmond, Virginia. That wasn't the only Black Wall Street. But we were taking care of our communities during that time, and they were destroyed or bought out. So we got to pay attention to these laws that they have, especially the law of eminent domain. They can take your property from you when your eyes are wide open. Eminent domain. So we have to be aware of this kind of stuff. But even if they did do it, we have to get ourselves to an economic position that no matter what, we can just move and build again because we have the money to do so. So that's what the trainer fears. That's what the oppressor fears. On that fateful day when we come together, the tables will be turned forever. Black people react angrily when we find out about the torture of our ancestors, which was never taught to us in school. We become a mighty force when we stand up, stick together, and refuse to make meaningless compromises. When we engage in the mental strength training needed to overcome our oppressive conditions, we become as powerful as elephants trampling trainers on their way out of the circus. This is my dream for Black America. We need to move towards self-sufficiency. Get away from the idea of integration. Listen to this, people. Listen to this, because this has been a long debate. People are mad about this, but I'm going to say it because I believe this. We need to move toward self-sufficiency. Get away from the idea of integration as the key to your salvation, because it is not. Let me be extremely clear when I say this to you. Complete cultural, educational, and economic integration is not the solution for Black people. Let me say that again. Complete cultural, meaning taking on the other's culture. Complete cultural, educational, and economic integration is not the solution for Black people. But too many of us believe that it is. It is not. Integration has harmed Black people more than it has helped them. We got to think about it. People always say, oh, but we got Civil Rights Act and da-da-da. Listen, people, listen to the language in the Civil Rights Act. Everybody is benefiting from the Civil Rights Act, and the only people that continues to be left behind complaining about civil rights is us. Us. In 2017, I'm going to say this boldly. You cannot say nothing about same-sex people. You will be annihilated, thrown under the bridge. But people talk about Black people all day and nothing happens. Nothing happens. Everybody is benefiting from the Civil Rights Act. But us. But us. If that is not enough to tell you that the way we came here, for those of us who were brought here, because not everybody was brought here, because the indigenous people of America looked like me. So my point is, when we were brought here from Africa as part of the African diaspora, we weren't brought here with the purpose for them to be kumbaya and loving us. Do you really think that there was a change of heart? It was a money move. A money move. The boycott of Montgomery, Alabama was successful because it was a money move. We hurt their pockets. White people weren't riding the bus like that. We were. We were commuting to their businesses. It wasn't just about the buzz. We worked at their establishments. So we were not arriving on time. Some of us was not arriving at all. And it was hurting their pockets. So it was like, give them a bone. Give them a bone. Shut them up. Get their asses back at work because we need our money. That's what it was about. Get their Black back at work. Y'all got my baby here. I can't say bad words. We don't curse in this house. But we had to get back to work because their money was suffering. So for us to think that integrating is the way to go, you're sadly mistaken. And don't get so caught up on the word integration, like what you suggest, that's segregation. That ain't work either. I beg to differ. But that's not what he's saying. He's saying we have to get back to housing our own. Now, if they want to come into our community to buy from us, that's okay. We'll take that. Money is green. As long as we continue to circulate our dollars in our community. The Jewish community do it. The Asian community do this. And check this out. Even though the Hispanic community, Latino community is so separated as well, they're still together. Check this out. They will support each other no matter what. They can live in my town, but yet get on the bus, go across the bridge to Washington Heights. If you're from the New York City area, you know Washington Heights. That's Little Dominican Republic. I was there every Saturday. That's how I speak Spanish. There every Saturday. My point is, because my god sisters and god brothers are all Dominican, but my point is, they will leave my town, drive to Washington Heights, and spend their money there. They make sure they circulate their dollars too. Maybe not as strong as the Asian community or as strong as the Jewish community or the Indian community, but everybody else gets it. Everybody else gets it. And they're not worried about, oh, I want to be like you. I want to integrate so I can be like you. They're not worried about that. They're saying, look, you got to have self-pride and you have to have self-love and you got to take care of your own. Stick together. That, my friend, is segregation. They may reap the benefits of America being integrated, but they're not buying into the ideology of integration. That's the difference. Let me move on because I'm preaching today. Yes, Sonia Brown is saying separate but not segregate. You're absolutely right, Sonia. Let's go on. Let's go. Y'all getting me deep. You don't want me to get deep anymore because you know what happened yesterday when I get passionate about my people. Y'all bring me to tears. So we ain't crying today. Y'all ain't embarrassing me today. I was crying all yesterday morning. We must learn to make our own money. We must support our own community. We must protect and defend the psyches and the spirits of those that we care about. We must form our own political coalitions. This is not a problem that has its solution in liberalism, conservatism, Democrats, Republicans, or any of that other nonsense that they feed you every day while trying to indoctrinate you into their way of thinking. Do you hear me? Trying to indoctrinate you into their way of thinking. But yet, so many of us jump on this bandwagon. I'm Republican. I'm Democrat. Shut up. Shut up. Ain't nobody care about that. They ain't caring about you. They just want your vote so they can rule you. How foolish is that? But I'm not going to get on to that. I'm not going to get onto that on this video. We say that around election time when I go in, teach people a little thing or two. Anyway, it has to do with the fact that there is nothing wrong with being, I guess he meant unapologetically, but he put apologetically and genuinely black 100% of the time, because I'm not apologizing for being black. So replace that word apologetically to unapologetically and genuinely black 100% of the time. You must seize your moment and not be afraid of who you really are. You are the future. You are the visionary for your great-grandchildren. You are the one who's going to set the record straight and make sure that when people look back to the early 2000s, they realize that the future was set and determined by the seeds that were planted by visionary Black people like us. You are the runaway slave. You are the pioneer. You are the genius behind the movement that will take place within your own family. It starts with family, guys. It starts with family. The reason that you are reading this right now or listening to me right now is because you are different. I am here to tell you that you are supposed to be different. God put you on this earth for a reason, and it wasn't so that you can follow the crowd. It was so that you could lead the crowd. In order for us to move forward as a people, as a community, we must adopt a new paradigm of thinking, a new approach to solving problems, a new set of solutions and strategies that will elevate our people to levels that we want them to go. We must apply these ideas relentlessly, fearlessly, and without worrying about who might object to what we choose to do. It is time for a new paradigm in America, and it all starts with what we do right now. That is the end of this book. I want to say that we cannot continuously put ourselves out there to try to get approval from other people, trying to, be perfect. I don't want to do this because they're not going to like this. Do you think people are going to like if I put this out? Just put it out there. Who cares? You think people that decide to get on TV and show their breasts or get on YouTube or Facebook and show their breasts or twerking on camera and it goes viral, you think they was worrying about, oh, I don't want people to judge me. I think it's ignorant. But my point is, think about the mentality. We can learn something from that mentality. Those are people who says, I don't give a F-U-C-K what people think about me. I'm going to get out there and do what I got to do. We don't have to do that because we're better than that. And not that they're wrong, but I know I'm better than that. I don't have to get on TV to twerk to get people's attention. I'd rather get it with my mind. But my point is, I don't judge them because I can learn something from them. I can learn that fearless attitude that they have. I can learn from that. I can learn from their bravery. I can learn from their commitment to be successful in whatever they choose to do. So that's how we have to start looking at things. If you have something and you want to teach people, put it out there. But do your research. Do your research. But my point is, put it out there. Stop worrying about how you're going to look, how you're going to appear. Oh, my hair is not done. Oh, I'm not 2 pounds. Oh, I'm not light skinned. Oh, I don't have light eyes. Oh, I'm not white, so they're not going to listen to me. Stop with all of that. Because when you know you are called to a greater purpose, you're going to get out there and you're going to speak regardless of who listens. You're going to do what you're called to do every day until you succeed. So that's all I really have today. That's all I really have. I love you guys. I love you guys. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do with you guys tomorrow. You love them? He said, I love you. This little boy right here. I don't know what I'm going to do with you guys tomorrow at 8:15 in the a.m. because tomorrow is probably going to be the last day I'm on here. If you're lucky, I'll be on here on Thursday morning before I leave, but I can't promise you that. So I'll figure out something, but I got to think about the next book, and I have 2 books in mind, and I will tell you guys tomorrow what the next book is going to be, but I'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow on the book club. So I will see you tomorrow morning at 8:15 in the a.m. Stop that noise in a second. I will see you tomorrow at 8:15 in the a.m. Share the video. I love you guys, and thank you for your patience with my little Sagey, because I'm on mommy duty and I'm not going to yell at him and beat him up like other people. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed one.